Okay, so we have a quorum and I'm calling this meeting to order. And we don't have public, so I guess it's safe to say we will not have any public comments. And we're into community updates, and as always, when there is an officer here, we'd like to let the officer come first. So we would like to invite you up. Oh, let's introduce ourselves for you.
Okay.
I'm Maritza Asher Pizza. Suzette Murphy.
Eric Carlson, Eric.
H&E Housing with campus president here.
Corey Robinson, agricultural project coordinator for the CRA. Cedric Craig, Tampa CRA director /
Everything else.
True Park, Stanwood.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm Lieutenant Houston. I'm one of the shift commanders here at District 1. We work a 4-day on, 4-day off cycle. So if I'm not here, the lieutenant would be Lieutenant Christina Gaudian. She's the other cycle lieutenant if I'm not here. We work the evening shift. A lot of times when I come to these meetings, when we say low crime, what we're talking about are 5 specific crimes. So when I run your numbers for Drew Park, the numbers that I'm looking at are burglaries, residential burglaries, business burglaries, auto burglaries like car burglaries, robberies, stolen vehicles, and shootings and stabbings. So when we say, you'll hear us say, oh, you guys are doing great, which Drew Park is doing great. I ran the numbers from August 1st to today, and there's only 5 of those crimes that I specified. Some of them I can talk about, some of them are still active, so I can't share too much information. But a lot of them, even though I'm looking at one as a theft of a vehicle, somebody went to an unlocked toolbox and they stole like $8,000 worth of tools. There were no serial numbers on the tools, so a lot of times if they take those kind of tools, there's no way for us to find those. Even if they pawn it, if you don't have your initials on the tool, then we're not. It's tough for us to recover that kind of property. So that was one of them. There was a car break-in. It was unlocked. They stole over $2,000 worth of like foreign currency. And I can give you the 100 blocks of where these happened. I try not to give the exact addresses just in case it may be somebody's address in the room and it's like, oh, that's I was the victim of that. So the tool that happened on the 4400 block of Alba, the car break-in where they took the foreign currency, that was the 3900 block of West South Avenue. There was a business burglary. I'm not sure if I would call it a burglary. The 4600 block of North Hubert. It was a coworker who worked there. He had access to the business, so he was going in there overnight stealing money. But he didn't break in. He was a coworker, so he had access to the building. So that is kind of a burglary. That's going to be more of a theft. He was stealing money from his coworker. There was another auto burglary in the 4700 block of Lois. That gentleman parked in an overflow parking lot. He was only there for about 45 minutes and then somebody went in there. It was unlocked and they took a gun out of the car.
I'm sorry, that always surprises me. I've heard the mayor talk about that too, lock your cars, lock your cars, but then also the statistic that most of the guns that are out on the streets are from cars.
Yes.
And I just think if you're gonna have a gun, why, that always just puzzles me that you wouldn't lock your car.
Yeah, and a lot of
Or lock your car, period, but.
right. So we asked a lot of victims, we're like, hey, a lot of them will forget, or they'll say, well, hey, I didn't lock it because I don't want my window broken. Now we do have certain times of the year, we'll have crews go around and they will break windows, but I would say over 90% of them are gonna be unlocked.
Yeah.
We're looking at the whole, because that's just easy, just to walk around, check the door. If it's locked, they'll move on. Unless they see something inside the car they really want, then they will break the window. I know when they were targeting LA Fitness years ago at the gym, and they go in the parking lot, they look, see a purse, they would break those windows. But that was specific to LA Fitness when they were doing that. And the last one was 3900 block of Osborne. They sold an e-bike. They cut the lock and took the bike. So that's a lot of times, we tell people, we're like, if they see an e-bike, they're gonna cut the lock, like they're gonna take it. They're expensive, and that particular, victim, he didn't have the serial number, so it's like, you gotta have that. That's the only way we can recover it. But other than that, those are the only crimes that I saw. That was just from August to today. So it looks, I mean, I'm sure there's probably other things going on. It's not included in those crimes, but those are the major crimes that we focus on. And obviously, once we set an influx of those crimes, that's when we'll say, hey, we'll either send our unmarked cars over here, like we'll get more people to the area. That's how we kind of decide which area gets more resources. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
With the tool, you said the gun was, the vehicle was unlocked.
Yes.
With the tools, were they out in the open?
No, they were in its toolbox in the bed of the truck, but the toolbox itself was not locked. So it's rare that we get thefts from toolboxes. So I don't know if maybe they knew he worked, like, hey, that guy does something in construction, and I know he keeps tools in his car. Kind of like the guy who got his gun stolen. He was only there 40 something minutes, like in a parking lot. It's that overflow parking lot, but so there's obviously people, riding around looking for opportunities, but yeah, the toolbox wasn't locked, so they just lifted it up and, took those tools that were in there.
For information to tell people we know in the park, make sure you're walking your.
Yeah, lock your toolbox, yeah,
Keep stuff up.
yep.
Okay.
And I know some of the other trends we've been kind of seeing are, if a lot of it's on your cell phone, you'll get a text message saying, hey, your package can't be delivered. And if you click that link, they can get your information that way. A lot of times they'll call you, and it may come up as spam, it may not, but once you answer and say hello, then they take your voice and they can use AI and pretty much call a family member of yours. And the one that we keep seeing the most is your family member's in jail, they need bail money, and then you send them money, but it's obviously to the criminal, and all they need you to do is say hello, and they got your voice, and they can just have a whole dialogue with someone, that they're gonna think it's you, because they're like, oh, that's his or her voice, so yeah, it must be my son, my daughter, whoever. So I know they had our chief's voice asking for donations. That was a scam. Like it's
Sad.
yeah, they're getting creative with the other one is Netflix. You'll get an email saying that your credit card is yeah, your payment's been declined. Click this link to update your Netflix. And I always tell people, I'm like, go to your Netflix, and if it's canceled, it'll tell you when you click on Netflix, it'll tell you, hey, your credit card was denied. So you don't, but clicking on links and all that stuff, we always tell people don't do any of that. If it looks weird, just don't click on it.
I'm not answering calls that are.
Yeah.
On my, and I tell like my kids, if you're ever calling from a number that's not yours, leave a voicemail.
Yes.
Because otherwise I go in and I block them off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer.
Yeah, you're right. That's why if it's important, leave a voicemail. And it's like, if you're not expecting a package and you get that text saying that your package is delayed, it's like, no. It's like, just don't even, I just delete them. We don't know how they get our numbers, but it's just spam and all that.
I had a colleague that got a fake red light ticket.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That she checked and then she didn't, so. And then I got a legitimate parking ticket in Tampa,
Oh,
but I just went to the Tampa website. And
Yes.
looked it up and then paid it, yeah.
man.
$30.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one with the red light. Wow. Yeah, they're getting creative. I know they were doing SunPass for a while, but some people were like, hey, I don't even have a SunPass account, but they'll try anything. All they need to do is click that link.
I got a call, this was in June, I was out of the state, and it was an 813 area code, so
Yep.
sometimes I will answer those because those are not the other goofy ones.
Right.
And they were posing as a sheriff, a Hillsborough
Yes.
County sheriff. I missed, jury duty, federal,
Yep.
and there's a warrant out, and, you can't tell anybody you're on the phone, I mean, so many You know,
Right.
you can't tell anybody, don't get off the phone and,
And-
$12,000, yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll take it, yeah. I didn't, but
Right.
it
But-
was interesting. And then I Googled it afterwards and saw how the scam was all over.
Yeah, there's so many people, you would think, oh, people do this. You probably notice now, if you go buy gift cards, they'll ask you a bunch of questions. Now, like, hey, are you buying this for someone else? Cause it's so bad. Especially if you're buying a high number of gift cards, they'll ask, hey, no one sent you here to buy these, right? You're like, what? But that's why, they'll tell people, hey, you go buy these gift cards and then give us the number of this, but it's crazy. You hear some of this stuff, you're like, man, but they, obviously, if it won't work, they won't keep doing
You know,
it.
the
But
right things to say.
yeah, so, any concerns you guys have with, Drew Park?
I can tell from the college standpoint, I appreciate when TPD's on site.
Yes,
I like when the cars and.
yeah, we try to have,
Especially that northern part and over here and the race games, we appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. I've been trying to, sit further, kind of near the landings, but like on that side, because I know a lot of us will sit mainly on this side,
Yeah.
towards Del Mabry. So we know at nighttime, we'll see kids still here, so we try to be in the area.
Good, I
So,
appreciate that, thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Which is what I was, gonna suggest is that, if they're coming home at the end of a shift or something, they just drive by on the way to get to D1. you
Yes.
know? That would be a good idea. I mean, I know there's not a lot of thefts going on here, but we know there was theft rings. in
Yes,
Orchard Park.
Yes.
Okay, so the fact that they weren't here, the crime was still being,
right.
done partly here. Their headquarters were here. I think there were two. I think my truck got caught up on that.
Yeah, so Detective Sergeant was talking to me about that. Yeah, it's.
So what I'm saying is if they're seeing you guys visibly, and we do have, his name escapes me, there is an officer that comes and dedicates a few hours a week here. I have to get his name, but,
Okay,
and so he can become familiar with Drew Park. And
Yes.
So this way, I mean, I know it was sheriff and FTLE, I believe, and somebody else that was involved in that thing. I'm sure you guys were made aware of somehow or another, but yeah, so it was actually still happening here. So we do have criminal activity, let's call it, happening here. It just may not be showing up in the reports.
right. And you,
So we did at least have it.
and you can always, and we'll do it. It's like, you can always request that we have we call it a field roll call. You can pick any location you want and say, hey, I'd like the evening squad or midnight squad or day squad, day shift to have a field roll call anywhere you want. And there'll be 15, 20 of us that will all meet and have our daily roll call. That's easy for us to do. So if there's an area where either whether it's speeding or just whatever, we can all meet up and have our 10, 15-minute roll call, but it gets us in the area and people seeing like, oh, look, there's a bunch of cops.
Based on that,
Mhm.
we have a lot of 4713 disparities
Mhm.
between Osborne and Cayuga. Jeff Nicholas here, if you would offer his place too, we're neighbors on that block, we're neighbors. So I have a big open parking lot.
Yeah, what's,
I've invited officers and they do sometimes go in and write their reports there, just hang out or just, kind of watch because of what's going on at Air Cargo Road.
mhm.
You can watch, there's a lot, as you know, there's a lot going on in Air Fargo, but 4713. North Hesperides, guys are always welcome
Okay.
to park in there. And I also wanted to point out that we are in the middle of developing a park, a neighborhood park, on Hubert Avenue.
Okay,
And part of the plan is to have an officer parking spot.
okay,
So the officers, in the hopes that the officers will go
yeah,
right before us, just kind of get to see the kids or whatever and get, kind of a community type of thing, but definitely a presence, for the kids to be able to.
is this the city park or?
It's a park, it will be city, right? It is being funded by us.
Oh.
It is from our committee here, with contractors. It's been developed, and we'll get an update today, I'm sure,
Okay,
how that's going, but it's on Hubert anybody remember the streets between Hubert and Martin Luther King and?
Manhattan.
Because last time you gave me, I ended up somewhere else.
Yeah, Ohio.
Manhattan, Ohio, in Manhattan. So if you drive by there, there is a.
Yeah, I'll go check that out.
already, and you'll see that that's gonna get developed relatively soon, but part of the plan definitely was requested that you have a parking spot
Okay, yeah,
dedicated to you all.
okay, perfect. Yeah, the reason I was asking it was at City Park,
It is.
I was thinking of after hours, because a lot of times when we'll, whether it's people trying to congregate there after hours, then we can just, we can obviously go see what they're doing, and if they're doing something they shouldn't be, obviously we can trespass them, but that's the reason I was asking that.
Yeah.
I did notice last night when I was out here, there was a homeless gentleman going through trash cans. Once he saw me, he moved along, but I didn't.
Sometimes homeless, yeah.
Okay, cause I was like, well, cause at first I thought I saw something, then when I looked back, he had disappeared, and then he must have I guess he must have like dropped his bike and then was going to the trash, then I saw him again, and he was riding his bike, so I was just like,
Well, thank you for being alert to that.
yeah, does HEC have a trespass authorization for us or
The
no?
green.
Yes.
To my knowledge, I brought
Okay.
it up. I don't know if you know Mike Hutner.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so he is,
he's retired now.
well, right, well,
Yeah.
he's our interim head of our security. So I
When
am,
did he?
it might be probably last spring, if not close to a year. But anyway, and we love him.
Yeah.
But I brought it up, I would not be opposed to putting the green signs and having that, so I could circle back with him again. But I mean, we're closed at 10, Monday through Friday, and we close early, and if you see, I mean, they are trespassing at that point,
So the only thing we would need, if we don't have the placard, then we would need a representative from HCC, because we're not allowed, it's private property, so
Okay.
we can't trespass, and we would need that authorization.
All right,
do
I'll
it?
work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to have that,
Okay.
because there's so many things that happen, and we're lean on the weekends, especially
Mhm.
with the security that we have here, so that,
Okay.
especially overnight.
Okay, yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
No problem.
all the information and
Got it.
opportunity to give you information as well.
Yeah, thank you. All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are into approval of the minutes from last month. While you guys look over, I have a big family member in the hospital. Let me check up on the call, but while you guys review that.
Only change I have is my name is spelled wrong in the minutes. It's NIE. And the first won't be the last.
Gotcha.
Spelled right in the roll call, but
Oh,
the
for the
other
motion.
parts, yeah.
Do we need to correct little things like that? Because my first name is Mary K, not Sarah C.
It's spell check.
That is.
Got it. Wish I could blame it on AI.
Since we're just talking about small, I think it's even at the very top when you're under the next headers, Hillsborough Community College, it should be Hillsborough College.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are community anymore?
No, I announced that last meeting.
Exactly.
Minutes,
Just HC.
Correct. Yeah, we're HC Hillsborough.
It'll be a while to be able to get that finished.
Yeah.
I walk these times and yeah. So, I wasn't here, so I can't read. We have a motion to approve when you guys are ready.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Um,
So passed. Okay. We have a presentation from Corey Robinson.
They stand up here.
You stand up there. Nice to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
And before Mr. Robinson goes into the presentation, I just wanted to share just a little history. I'm pretty sure most of you are aware that there were some concerns expressed during the June meeting, and we had some follow-up in the following meeting concerning the gateways, signage, and
Oh, okay.
signs and
Okay.
damage. So I did reach out to our team to kind of spearhead and see what we can do to assist. And we found out some information, I guess, and based on, they came out of this meeting about an accident, police report that dated back to the previous manager. And so we actually have money that was sitting there. And the purchase order was created because the insurance reached out and paid for the damage or the replacement. I can't remember if it was Alpha or Osborne.
It was
Cayuga, there we go. So, so Mr. Robinson has been, bird dogging this for us and will provide an update. Should have received it in your packet with his email last week as well. So without further ado, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you for having me, Floyd Robinson, Arts and Cultural Project Coordinator, CRA. Director McRae said, as you know, a couple of the gateways on Dale Mabry have been damaged. Osborne especially suffered heavy damage, and Alpha and Dale Mabry also has decent amount of damage. Going forward, because these two locations weren't reported right away and don't have a police report attached to them, it's hard for the city to activate the insurance policies on them. So, can't say that they'll never get damaged again, but we're gonna talk about that. But, if you ever see them damaged, please report it right away to us, because at least we can maybe get a police report, around the
Three damage to them?
just two damage right now. Cayuga was fixed and it had a police report. Insurance did come and repair that. That was in 2022. So the last quote that was provided was in 2022, and obviously materials have gone up and prices have gone up, unfortunately. So I did reach out back to the original company that did those repairs and also created the signs originally. So they still have like the design templates and everything on their CAD files. So they were able to like look that all up. They did do a site visit and provided some estimates. These estimates aren't with tax included, but they are like a general estimate of how much things will cost. So a new sign, if you wanted to put up another gateway, would be, that's with the concrete footer, permits and all that, would be $18,095 without tax. A total replacement of the sign, which would be what Osborne needs because the bases suffered damage. It seems like maybe the vehicle whipped around and broke the backside, or when I was looking at it, I was like, I'm not really sure how it got on the backside broken, but the sign company did say that footer would have to be repaired completely, like re-bored and everything. So a total replacement of the sign with the footer, $16,060 without tax. And for Alba that had a little bit less damage, the repair would be, like for a sign like that, generally the repair would be $12,560. They do remove the gateway sign, take it back to their shop, repair, take off what is still usable, repair what they can, and then if they have to refabricate, and then they come back and reinstall. So that's all included in that price. They also gave me a price to install 2 steel bollards in front of each of the location. Now, I've made sure that we're not going to put up some yellow poles in front of them, but they did say 2 concrete bollards for each location, installed and painted the color of choice, which could be painted the same color as the actual gateway to make it kind of blend in, would be $3,200 per location, which, going forward with Dale Mabry having so much traffic and probably cannot really prevent accidents from happening, these bollards would be a great idea going forward. And I think that we can make them probably like blend in with the existing signage to not really take away from it. If you wanted to add gateways in other locations, I provided a little bit of a map on the back side, the last page. So it shows you with the green dot or the blue dots, all your existing gateways on Dale Mabry, and then the orange helicopters that are placed. I placed them on the west side of the district, possible locations for new gateways, because I was at a meeting before, and that was suggested that you might want to add new gateways, which, adding a new gateway would be approximately $18,000
For each one.
for each new gateway, yeah. And originally, the Cayuga one that was damaged pretty heavily in 2022, I think that damage for the repair was about $11,000. So there is an increase in materials and labor and everything like that going into 2025 and 26. So a total for all locations to put in all bollards would be 12,800 plus tax. Total repairs of two signs of the two signs that are existing right now, $34,155 plus tax approximately. The two repairs plus four locations of bollards, which would cover all the ones on Dale Mabry, would be $46,955 plus tax.
How many new ones are you suggesting?
And that would be really up to the community, like if, and
So
these,
what did you knock out?
there's
Or
4 on the west side. And that would still, these locations, I wanted to find out what y'all thought first before reaching out to mobility and activating them. They didn't control the right of way, so we would have to get their permission to the owner department. So we would have to get their permission but I don't see that being an issue as long as we control the right of way. So there's 4, I located, Osborne and Hesperides, am I saying that right? Hesperides, okay. One in Cayuga, possibly one down here on Tampa, West Tampa Bay Boulevard. And then the only one that's a little bit that I did suggest that was up on Crest. That's a City of Tampa road, but it is controlled by the airport, so we might have to see what
Yeah, but what I,
with this with the city, how they work with that maintaining, but it is on the right of way, but there is like a pretty good size right of way over there, so you on the Dale Mabry side, you have one on south, so that could also be a possibility. And then, whatever, obviously y'all know the community best, like whatever roads you think are like really major throughways or, gateways into the neighborhood would be like up to you to, suggest.
Anybody on Tampa Bay?
Not in Tampa Bay, not in Dale
Tampa Bay
Mabry.
is part of the Drew Park.
Yeah. And the only gateways you have right now, south in Dale Mabry, Osborne and Dale Mabry, Cayuga and Alba and Dale Mabry, all on Dale Mabry.
So it'd be hard to put one on the corner of Tampa Bay because right now that's where the college sign is on the corner. You've got another historical post there and with all the people walking for the games.
I don't know. Yeah, I was just bringing it up because, but I didn't know that all was there, which you did say some historical sign that nobody sees. So if that falls under your part, maybe we can take a look at it and see how we can,
Relocated
or relocate it or make it visible or
okay,
like
I can take a look at
have
that.
it do some purpose,
Yeah.
Was that the college that installed it or was
Yeah.
it?
It's
It's a
We
city?
did it.
Okay.
See what I did?
Okay.
And it's like one of the green historical markers? Okay.
Yeah, and that decision was done right about the same time we were designing these.
Okay.
Like, we got with the historian and it's a little bit of a work.
Yeah.
Work was done,
They're not easy.
but I can't tell you that I ever stopped to take a look at it. I wasn't there during the installation and I've never gone in. I'd have to go and try to figure out where it's at because it doesn't stand out to me.
Yeah.
It's a real white.
Green.
It's green.
There's a white one too, but the green one, I think it is turned around the wrong way. And I was looking when I drove through there the other day and I didn't even see the green one, but I saw the white one, welcome to Drew Park. So
So maybe it gets relocated.
Probably needs to be
Linear park, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere that makes sense, if that's what your recommendation is, or do we plant flowers and lights and something?
It might get a lot of, because of the walking traffic to, both stadiums.
So maybe that's why it was placed there.
Yeah, it might be, a nice location for people, especially that are out of town.
Or is there a bench that we add to it or something,
Something like
you know,
that.
something to call attention? So we can leave that decision to you. And I don't know, you know,
Um,
bench might have been the wrong thing to say, but you know,
Yeah,
I'm saying something.
yeah, so I just wanted to provide a little bit of like, ideas for adding more gateways if that's something that,
Let me ask you something. Do you need an approval from us, right?
Yes,
Okay,
because
so
we
I-
have to reprogram some funds.
So I did some
And I was
math.
gonna make a recommendation, but
I did some math and I know some of you guys are studying working too. If it's the fork and the repairs, so if I did it right, 72,380 plus 46,995, my calculator said 119,335. I would suggest if we do that, go that route, that we add a fifth location. Okay, and work with Corey to try to figure out, and then at least we got the approval process out of the way. You know, that it's there for repairs for Ballards and for possibility of the five locations. What we don't do now, it's not gonna get done. It's been, I mean, you can go find the invoice and would be interested, find out when we originally did this, but it's gotta be more than 10 years. That may be another 10 years before we come back.
you want to know what they really like look good.
Yeah, they do.
And like the signs themselves were like, there's, the material that they chose was good. There's not any like
We went through a
real,
lot
you know.
on the design. This wasn't just like, I mean, we had special meetings. We looked at like 10 different designs. We went back, and we really took this seriously. And it was, yeah,
Said, did you see you have a recommendation?
well, on the funding source, if you look at the neighborhood infrastructure line item budget, that is probably where we would be able to take the money out of to create an additional line item to cover this expense in preparation for what may be forthcoming.
One more time, one more line item that was.
Neighborhood infrastructure.
and so the two
How
repairs,
much funds are in
Right now is in July, 4.5.
Didn't we reallocate some funds from last time? So has that been adjusted?
Not as of yet, because it won't show up until the report that you'll get for August. But yeah, that was just 50. So
so we have.
yes, yeah.
and so the two repairs plus 4 locations of the bollards would be, approximately 47,000 with, plus tax. And
So, sorry, just to interrupt. So the summary that you provided, right, the new additional sign with footer is $18,000,
yeah,
right? So total replacement of the sign is 16, and then the repair damage is 12.
yes,
So that's 28 for the 2 repairs
yes.
versus the 34 that you have.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Right, I'm not sure where that number came from.
But you added the 18 plus the 16 to get to.
Oh, yeah.
But I just want to make sure that we're.
Yeah, it would be the total, the full sign replacement and then the repairable sign on the damage on the sign. And then if you wanted to add the bollards for all 4 locations, it would be 12,800. And then going to do a 5th location, that would be the 18,000 signs. And then if you want to do bollards on that one too, would be another 3,200.
Right, so I mean, if it's 18,000 per, and you're talking $5, I mean, you're $100,000 plus the repairs of 30 and 28, so $129,000 for signage. So,
Am I allowed to make the motion? So, would anybody like to, have more discussion on it, or would like to pass, would like to make a motion, so we can get repairs, ballards, and possibility of new ones?
Did we decide on 4 new ones or 5? And if 5, where would the 5th one go?
So,
So I can provide I can talk to mobility and check these locations on the west side of the district. All the streets that lead into the district and let you know, I can give an update to
so you'll
Cedric.
come back to us with,
Yeah.
so what we would do today is approve the funds. Doesn't mean you have to spend the funds.
We can get the repairs working.
Yep, the repairs definitely,
Yeah,
the ballards, but then we can work on positioning, what makes sense after he does his work.
It's fine.
So that make-
Yeah, a motion. Yeah, it's, but then the budget.
Okay, so we have a motion, to, let me see if I got this right, for the repairs for the two, ballots on all of them, and up to 5 new ones, which will be based on your recommendation when you revisit us again.
With that location to be determined, yeah.
Once he comes back. Yes.
Yes, I'll second.
You also include that's to be reallocated from infrastructure.
Do, let's start that right here. Do we have to approve ballots for the new ones as well?
yes, if you want a ballot for the new ones, then
So that price, that would have to be in this here now, or that's not in here now, right?
no. The ballots, each location would be 3,200, so if you wanted to do, you're saying 5 new locations?
5, but I mean, we don't have to spend it, but
Okay.
I'm just,
Yeah.
so that's like, what, 16,000?
uh,
So would you like to amend your motion to include ballots for the new ones as well, which would be an additional 16,000?
Yeah, but yes, yeah, seeing as how they're, they get accident prone,
So
might as well
I
protect.
think I heard someone second it.
I second.
Yeah. And to move from the infrastructure budget to, what budget would that be?
We would create a separate line item, so it would just be reprogrammed from the neighborhood infrastructure line item.
All right, it has been second, and all in favor? Aye. All opposed? It moved.
All right, great.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you,
I'm
Cory.
looking forward to doing this and getting this out for you guys.
Thank you so much. What's the name of the company? I forgot.
Oh, the company.
If you remember somebody else.
I mean, my email.
You know, I don't have a really good memory for a lot of things. I think I have a good long-term memory. I remember these sessions and we were so proud of ourselves.
They're really nice, like gateways, and they like.
You just asked me about yesterday. But you know, I do remember a lot of pride. And we took this work very seriously. All these designs,
It's International Sign Co.
international sign code. I did a good job, you know?
Yeah, and then it's great. They still have all the plans. It's, you know, the person I talked to remembers doing them, so.
Okay, to find out when was it first done? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it took us like, honestly, like 2 years prior to that to get to that point.
Yeah,
So,
and they did the repairs on Cayuga too, so, yeah,
thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Hopefully it won't take that long. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so moving
Thank you so
forward,
much.
it's really, you, Cedric.
Yes,
You're on.
you all were provided with the tracker report and report for the commercial grants and housing. And there is one item, and this is a follow-up to Mr. Carlson's comments. I received an updated item from Hubert Avenue Park. The consultant, as they're going through the design option and for the drainage, that was the $50,000 that you all had approved of to last month. I received an email on Monday saying they received, or our staff received this on Monday, that the updated estimate for the design consultant, which includes the additional offsite or drainage improvements per the engineer's opinion, is now up to $105,000. So an additional 55. So just wanted to bring that to you all's attention to see if, I mean, if you all are good with moving forward with that, the funds are available.
We really have no choice if we're gonna do this project. We can't do the project without with drainage. The question would be if we just want to feel comfortable that someone is really analyzing it, that, you know, where this is double the amount, so, you know, who's really looking at that.
Right.
I don't have Nick here, who's really is real familiar with that, that you guys are in real estate quite a bit, so I don't know, you know, I have no knowledge.
Yeah, just to give it, we tell why.
So, and this is just go through. So it's, they're saying they believe that they will have, approved plans by December. We kind of touched on that last month, which means by January, they will start to work on the RFP and the, press release and, conversations with the contract admin. So the issue is that based on the work that's been done, the amount that's currently available is $879,000, $879,000, and that's still available in that line item for the park. So they received an estimate for the 105, which means the funds that are still remaining or needed, not remaining, needed would be $172,909.28. So that's the bottom line of what the gap is there.
So not just 55.
Not the 55, that's just based on the comment or conversation we had last with the 50, and then they were saying another 55. But the additional funds needed after the current expenditures is $172,909.28.
Which includes the additional 50,000.
Yes, yes.
Did they say why they need an additional 120,000?
It was based on the additional cost for the drainage design. Yeah, so the down through park funding available is 879. The reprogram that you all approved back in April was a little over $1 million, $1,015,000. And then so that brings the total amount to 1.8 million. And now there's the additional funds needed to cover the overall cost is 172,909.
So I'm not opposed to doing it because like, for instance, said we have to do the drainage
Mhm.
and I think we should do it, but that's shocking how much more that is. I could see if they found infrastructure or they've got to move lines or if there's electrical or something, or, I could see because that adds a lot more to it, but that is pretty odd. But I think we got to do it.
I agree. I mean, I don't know if there's additional information that they provide.
Yes, we can.
So again, when,
And literally, I just got this Monday.
so, and I can't remember, we had a line item budget, I think, for the park, right? So we had a breakdown of what the different line items were. So has that been forecasted at all? I mean, has those been changed or is this the only line item that?
This is based on the conversation we had last month or 3 weeks ago. To date, these are the only changes that have come forward. Everything else has been as expected.
So we have permits, we're gonna have permits at 818.
It's
What's the deadline?
so it says January we'll start working on the request for proposal. So now we're the overall design will be in approved plans by December is what they're saying. So then they will be in permitting.
So, did they tell you why they held up the permit, when permit's gonna be done by end of summer?
So that's what I had. That's the information I have.
Okay, so I think,
Well, we had mentioned this last, maybe it was 2 times ago, that on this project tracker sheet, right? And the updates are pretty minimal.
Right.
And so I think it would be good, even if we had a schedule, for these particular
Like who's in
projects.
charge? who's in
So we can track and make sure that, hey, look, we're meeting our targets, and if not, this is the reason why.
Right. Okay. And I actually have a little bit more detailed schedule that was provided as of earlier this month because I did ask. And I wasn't in your packet because I didn't get it until Monday, but I can gladly provide that to you all. It's from Placemaker Design Studio.
Placemaker's not a contractor that's putting this together.
Correct. Yeah, that was the gentleman that came and presented the initial
I
concept.
know there's a top, you have to make a decision on a move. A move for the motion and so forth about money, but I'd like to say this.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see placemakers here. The next meeting. We're supposed to have permits in August. We don't have. Now we have something that's, we're approving $172,000 more. That's not pocket change. I agree with you. We don't have a schedule. We're spending a lot of money. Someone needs to be giving us clear expectations. And it's not just okay now, it's gonna be done in December, and ask me, well, why is it being done in December, wasn't done in July and August? Because nothing else has changed, and it's just this. So, next month. And I think I did ask for that to Tektronix, or what have you, somebody who I was doing that other thing, and I haven't, let's put that. Can you request they be here that, at least, I don't know if you guys are in agreement with it, please speak up if you're not. But I'd like to have that clear.
So along the same lines, so in the, even in the mobility, right? I mean, one of the line items says that final recommendation is expected to be completed in September of 2025. Right, so is that actually for this meeting? Or is that towards the end of September that they were supposed to have? So it would just be good to have, even on the sheet, you know, what we did last, what the part look for it is, the two big things that, you know, whether it's 30, 60, 90, whatever that timeframe window is that we're looking for.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So we're at a point where so the total amount is 172,000, you just said? So then 729. That we're being asked to make a motion to pass, to pay.
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So moved.
we just because we did that, I'm not saying. Can we still get details as to kind of what?
Yes, no, you're making a request, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
But like soon. Like. Because we're doing this to keep this, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, to keep this moving. And it's basically, okay, well, you know, we're not gonna have a project if we don't have it, but we don't like being in that position. I mean, what person wants, who's handling a budget or whatever, wants to be in the position of like, you know, you gotta do it or you can't get the rest of it. That's not a good position to be in. So, yeah.
All right, and to kind of just go back, and who was it that sent that out to you on Monday?
I got it from our project staff. Special project staff. And they're the conduit between Parks and Recreation.
So they probably
The
need to answer the
consultant.
questions that we were before, you know. All right, anything else you need to talk to us about?
No, ma'am, that's it. I just wanted to highlight that, we'll be back in Drew Park on Friday. Councilwoman or CRA board member Hurtek. We've had some back and forth about doing a ride along here in Drew Park and, Sister Keyser will be accompanying us, and I think she's just trying to get a better understanding of some of the wants, needs, desires, and, you know, spends a lot of time further on the eastern part of the city, and, you know, looking to come
I thought
through.
it was really nice of her, two presentations, the CRA, last one was in June, the other one, I don't remember, April's, I don't know. Both times she requested, to come and do a tour. The first time, we just couldn't be all schedules. Yeah, but it's happening now. If you have any suggestions on, you know, what to show her, what to cover on Friday, you know, if you want to email, Cedric so that we know, you know, what, I mean, we have an idea of what to do, but I want your opinion. You know, what would you like her to see of Drew Park while she's here?
Definitely just the two parks, to see the location, you know, grounds.
So the linear park as well, okay?
And then any of the mobility sites, quickly run through those.
I can keep that in mind. Anything else pops in your mind, and please, you know, and we'll make sure to cover it with her. Okay, the other thing I have is, I was contacted by a reporter. The comments, I think something we probably need to, maybe for next time, or just kind of start thinking about. But there's a possibility that there's a stadium coming in here, and I guess they just wanted to know what our impact would be, what have you. Having to do with HCT, your HCC, HC. Sorry, it's gonna be a while. Right?
Yeah.
I was 16 and 17 when I was already in HCC. So let's keep that in mind, you know, if it comes on in our Drew Park area, how is it gonna impact it? Is it just outside our impact? If, you know, our area, how is it gonna impact, you know, we're gonna be part of those conversations with the city as far as how it affects us. I just think that, you know, are popping up. Keep it up with the conversation.
Yeah, is this a rumor? Is it whispers? What?
I don't know. I mean, I hear whatever I hear in the news like anybody else, so.
They haven't even finalized the sale of the team, so, I mean, it's just not anything.
I may not
to
have
report
it.
about.
But
I know.
just, it's out there. You know, so I just wanted to let you know that. There was a walking tour. Did I tell you about that walking tour? And somewhere in between, there was a walking tour, with part of the tectonics consultant work, you know, with safety and mobility on sidewalks and, you know, pathways and repairs and all the things that, you know, that they were working on with our second project, right? They did, oh, let me show them. Jump in there.
No, so yeah, couple things that I omitted, but you have the most recent copy of the CRA newsletter and what Ms. Astrakiza is talking about. Chair Astrakiza is the roadway and intersection improvements. So members of our staff, I think actually we had a summer, Ms. Green, an intern for the summer with the University of Florida, but she was actually participating that day, and they did walk with mobility and some of those same areas that you all mentioned as areas of concern. So they're trying to roll that into the update, and so that, you know, accommodations can be made for those additional sites that were requested.
Okay,
Yes.
so I did ask for a summary of the consultant's work while he was working. I haven't received it yet. I don't want to see it after it's been flushed out by mobility. I want to know, we paid for the consultant, I want to see his report. I've asked for that from Nick.
The report from the consultant or
Yes.
from mobility that was,
The consultant, I want to know what his recommendations were. Not before it's been filtered. Okay, now let's see how mobility adjusted it. I've asked for it a couple times. I want to know, I walked it, okay? It was hot. I want to know what the man thought, what his team thought. Simple.
and the other items you'll bring in your packet, just kind of highlighted, we're gonna be having open enrollment for CAC members for all of the CRAs. And then we're also having a community engagement session. As you know, and I've spoken to you all about this, and we had a presentation, I believe, it was during the June meeting from our grants team about some of the policy changes and updates. So, you know, was a little consternation from folks in the community about some of the changes. I think most of them are going to be beneficial to the applicants. So we're going to be doing an engagement session at Hannah City Center on October 13th. And, you know, if you have a level of interest or know individuals or business owners in Drew Park that may want to hear more, we will be there on October 13th.
Any comments, anything else that you need to talk about today?
I just had two things. One, I received a notice today that West Tampa Boulevard, the road is going to be closed starting September 22nd through October 3rd between Hubert and Lois.
What street's gonna be closed?
West Tampa Boulevard by the linear park. They're going to be putting in drains, I believe.
The water line.
Yeah, the water line. So it'll be a section, it looks like it's just maybe the eastbound section is gonna be closed. And then the second thing is on here, it says announcements, our next meeting is November 19th, but I have on my calendar October 15th is our next meeting.
So, yes, thank you. We have the Florida Redevelopment Association Conference in October, and it's that week. So the next meeting technically would be the November 19th, unless you all are able to agree upon a date that may be more
I
convenient.
don't think we should wait. We've got so many things going on,
And that's
but
fine.
that's up to you guys.
And November is my last meeting. I keep reminding.
Where are you going?
I roll off.
Can't
No.
Oh.
I have renewed. I'm expended out. I don't have any more. I'm ex officio and I believe it's two 2-year terms and I've done 2 2-year terms, so.
That's why we're advertising.
Yeah.
The vacancies. So, yes. I'm sure she's gonna find a wonderful ex officio person to replace her. But yes, so it will be the pleasure of the members here.
Or would you guys like to do this in October or move on to November? Who goes to the October meeting?
We don't have any electeds that are going, but it will be several staff that will be going. We have a lot of newer staff that have come on board the last year.
There used to be a representative from each CRA going. What happened to that?
We have
Guys decided to cancel that or?
one, two, no, per the policy, that is still a possibility.
So why hasn't it been offered to the CRA? I know, I haven't heard about
Been
it.
a couple, normally with the policy update, it's either the chair or the vice chair that,
Correct, so we have the chair, why is the chair or the vice chair not coming from this CRA?
should have been an email that was received and responded to. If not, then.
Last year, I put my time aside and everything, and then shortly right before I was calling to get details, it's like, oh, you're not going. I thought that was rude, you know,
I wasn't a part of the conversation, but I can gladly look into it.
because that's how I was able to get a lot of the information that led to going strictly and directly led to going to consultants, which led us into this path that we're in now, getting consultants, because that's how we were able to learn of what was going on in other CRAs, that they had overworked staff in the cities that weren't able to get to the projects for the CRA. And since we are CRAs, we are able to get our consultants, because this is a sort of a different entity than the city as a whole, because the city is contracted to work with us. It's not the city money. And that's how this ideas came up and bringing it back, and the CRA board just ran with it, you know? But it just took walking into some workshops
Right.
and listening into what other people were doing. So I highly suggest every CRA have the opportunity, and if they are like us that haven't heard of it, or then that needs to be brought up to them, because it made a world of difference. I would tell you, it is probably even more important than staff, or new staff, or even old staff. But the people that are serving on the boards learn a lot of leadership and ideas.
Respectful.
So I would suggest then that this be sent to the chair and the vice chair as well here, and I know it's just one, but one of us needs to go. Should go, and if one of us is not there, it can't be sent on to somebody else. I believe that's the case.
Yes.
Do it, please,
All right. Yes, ma'am.
if you don't mind.
Not a
I
problem.
appreciate your help, because I was left all dressed up and no place to go last year.
Last meeting, we had somebody that gave us some information about like their affordable housing initiative. And it seems like we really haven't had much movement on that. And then when I even read here about like East Tampa with the down payment assistance program, I'm just wondering if there's a way to get like best practices of what the other CRAs are doing for that particular thing. So we might have some kind of movement on the affordable housing issues.
I'm happy to invite Ms. Parks back to provide an update. She
Good point.
She may be at a meeting right now. Because we have another CAC meeting taking place this evening. But, yeah, I can invite her back for a meeting in the near future.
We getting digital boards. Somebody was gonna get us pricing on digital boards. Somebody from mobility maybe, right? So we can make an announcements on when our meetings are and you know, they could say something like, you know, affordable down payment assistance, go here, or whatever it is, you know. I thought I'm fuzzy on that one, but I know we talked about,
Was it TPD?
wasn't TPD,
No?
but I think it was mobility, because it was done for another CRA already. I think it was like $17,000.
Yeah, that was
So
that
somebody-
one.
Okay,
And, they hold them at the, District 3 station.
see?
Yeah, that
So
was
some-
the,
maybe for
the
next time.
environmental
maybe
protecting
we
and
can
stuff.
have Mobility.
Involved with
I
that.
mean, I wish, you know, I could just, I feel like that board center after this conversation. Have you got such a big list to do? I wish we could just call them directly and say, hey, where's this? Sometimes I do. Oh, that's, I think we're done. Oh, we're right at 1 hour. That's good. We're in 2 minutes. We have a motion to. Motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Anybody wants to? We're gone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we said October. Oh,